we make interventions and do what we should have been doing a long time ago and scale that up. And that includes tackling worklessness in social housing and targeting schemes there. But then we have, schemes like Home Connections, which again clearly bridges this gap between, helping people who are workless, but specifically helping people who are workless in social housing. And the idea of just taking the choice-based lettings and saying, okay, at this point, we know that someone is, they're on our radar. So often people, part of the problem is that they just get lost. They are on our radar, therefore we need to intervene and offer them opportunities. And indeed, we have, Home Connections are advertising about 10,000 vacancies each week. Tend to be entry-level qualification, entry-level kind of jobs. Some of those obviously will be under strain because of the market, but then again, other opportunities will be born because of the development, Thames Gateway development of the Olympics, which is unique to London and which clearly will provide jobs and will provide work opportunities for individuals. And indeed, if you look at some of those boroughs, where those developments are taking place, it's quite clear that the level of social housing and the level of employment, that is, that there is a clear dovetail there which needs to be capitalised on. And I think also it's now operational clearly across 11 boroughs, only been going up. So a third of boroughs are participating, which is a remarkable success in just pretty much 9 months. And so, so we really need to look at how schemes such as this can be extended in terms of the number of boroughs participating and in terms of the number of vacancies which can be advertised, which may actually plug a gap that can develop because of the nature of kind of jobs in the construction industry not maybe coming forward at the moment. And I've seen the kind of and there's lots of schemes going on. I mean, this is really important because there is lots of schemes going on. I mean, Catalyst, Rod Carhill, I was talking to the other day. Catalyst here? No. But I was talking to Rod Carhill the other day, and he was saying they're going into bid for money from the LDA for training schemes, where the vacancies will be related to social housing. So you're training people in social housing to do jobs, in social housing. Whether that's something to do with housing benefit or whatever. And again, if we've got the great portal, then that's the sort of thing which should be directed towards it and keep the vacancies going and get the throughput as market consultants would say. So I think it's so it's a great scheme, and that real gap. It's a practical way of tackling, and it's a more worklessness. It's a more immediate way of tackling worklessness, because however much we debate, the basis on which tenures are assigned, which can often, it's not solely caught up in. It's also caught up in the supply debate, but nevertheless, it gets very quickly related to the work debate. Going to take generations to sort out. We've got challenge now. We've also got the opportunity with the Olympics, which are unique to London, and which are bringing all of it together. So that's really all I've got to say, which is completely, unenlightening. But I'm happy to take questions. Obviously, over to you. I'll just stand here and take questions.
Well, you stand there, I'll stand here.
Brilliant. See, there's the light. You'll get blinded by the light. That's the challenge.
Exactly. We've got this up for some reason. And it'll get the cameraman something to do, because he's looking like he's falling asleep.
I know.
Don't worry, he's got to move his camera backwards and forwards now. So, can I just have a show of hands? If we just perhaps take 2 or 3 at a time, depending on how long they are, and say who you are and what the question is, and then we'll pass them to Richard for answers. And but all put your hands at the bottom.
Joe.
I'm Joe Docker from Home Connections. Question from Richard, really, just picking up on what you said about the Olympics and the Thames Gateway. I mean, obviously for us, as you said, we have this portal way of kind of advertising, promoting that type of work. I mean, how would you suggest that we because there's lots of different contractors there, there's lots of different kind of organisations. Is there kind of like an umbrella organisation that would be promoting this type of work in those two?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think, okay, because there are, I mean, we've got a hell of a lot of bodies involved in this. I mean, I think, our main lever comes in the sense that the LDA is responsible for the legacy. The main delivery vehicle is clearly LOCOG. There has been a lot of work done by LOCOG in terms of the provision for the contracts. So there's a certain provision locally, there's a certain provision around London, and then there's a certain provision for the rest of the country. And, so we know where the contracts are being targeted, but then there are different streams. I mean, for example, they've got this target of 100,000 volunteers. Some of those, we've got to be realistic here. Some of the people in social housing will not immediately be able to walk into a job, even if it's an entry-level job. But if there's volunteer opportunities, if there's a clear drive on recruitment, then that's one thing which should be brought in. And I think, one thing which I will do is go away and talk to LOCOG and say, right, why can't we, and Neil Coleman, who my predecessor, Neil is the Mayor's Olympics advisor, and say, okay, how can we take all the different things, the local contracts, how can we ensure that some of the opportunities are ring-fenced, if you like, and then also the voluntary, the 100,000, how can these people ring-fenced? Because then you're helping people at different levels, which is very important. But if you're able to ring fence where the contracts are tendered, then you must be able to ring fence as part of the bids process to say, well, actually, you will be a priority bid if you are helping people who are in social housing to benefit from being awarded this contract. So that's something I'll take away and talk to LOCOG about.
Thank you. Got two questions. So well, you won't know if you're the furthest back, if you're the furthest forward, but there's a chap with sort of silvery hair behind you waving, and you're second and there's a lady here first. We've actually got our three now in a row.
Brilliant.
I think it works. Do you want to say who you are first and where you're from?
Tino Patel from the National Housing Federation. Richard, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but the previous mayor used to work with a range of key stakeholders in London to promote a pan-London choice-based letting system called Capital Moves. I know something has happened to it, but can you tell us what this mayor intends to do with the pan-London choice-based mobility scheme, if at all, and what progress has been made up to date?
Do you want to take the three and then I answer?
Shall we do that?
I'm very relaxed with that. Council moves, I can give you
Council moves.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Mark Batchel. I work for Prospect Services Limited. We have the Next Step contract, which is an information advice and guidance contract for London. I'm interested that Hecs has 10,000 vacancies on its website, which is an excellent thing, but I'd like the Mayor to try and progress a London website for vacancies so that you integrate Job Centre Plus vacancies, like the Hecs vacancies, local authority vacancies, and recruitment consultant vacancies. I know that would be difficult with the commercial thing, but just so there's a London portal for London jobs.
British jobs for British people.
Let's do those two, because it sounds like we're starting.
Let's do those two.
Yeah.
Okay, second one, this is really a case for Hecs, for Home Connectors to sort of say, okay, is this a direction in which they want to go? And if they are, then we can look at how we promote it and get it up and running. But I think it's really a case for an assessment to be made by Hecs in the first instance.
I meant the broader really than Hecs. I meant the London.
Sure, but you've got to look who's the service provider, and we do not want to go into competition, so I'll wait to hear. On the second, because I'm sure I will hear, I expect to hear. On the second issue, on capital moves, I think there was a general, the Mayor said nothing